So it's working now. Thank you.
Right, for those of you in the gallery, good morning. I just want to remind people that there's no use of cell phones in a courtroom. There's no photography, there's no recording. So please silence your phones now if you can't turn them off. If a need arises for you to use the phone, please step out in the hallway. You want to let me know?
Oh, no, it's fine now.
All
Thank
set?
you. Yes.
All right, go ahead.
In re the John Doe hearing, 20 JD 15 appearances.
Attorney Kimberly Motley appearing in person with Jay and Linda Anderson, Senior. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to the Andersons. I'm very pleased that I am able to announce two individuals who are going to serve as special prosecutors in this matter. And so this won't be a long hearing, but I am going to review very briefly my process, the process that I have endured with Department of Administration, Department of Justice, and then a couple words about the two who will be serving in this capacity. Number one, the court has followed statute 96802, parent 3, as has been written by the legislature. I did not seek this case out. This case was brought to me, and I felt a responsibility, in particular, not to hide behind a non-existent conflict. I felt I owed a responsibility to the people of Milwaukee County based on the trust they have placed in me by electing me 3 times. And so that's how we got this case in front of me. I'm not going to comment on the merits of the case in any way. I have said all I have to say in my July 28th decision, which is available. When I thought about what I wanted to pursue in terms of a special prosecutor, number one, I wanted a fresh look at this entire matter. And I've defined that as having at least one person who is not a career prosecutor review this case. Secondly, I was looking for someone who was established in the Milwaukee legal community, in the Wisconsin legal community, as well as the greater community, people of impeccable credentials, people of great intelligence, people of integrity, and people that I could have confidence in that they were going to take the job seriously. They were going to let the case lead them. There will be no predetermined decisions, as there have never been in this case. And the reason that I have sought out people such as that I've just described is because regardless of the decision that gets rendered here by the special prosecutors, I want the community to be able to have confidence that this was given a proper review. Nothing more than that and nothing less than that. In addition to that, there was a priority given to people who could handle a case if in fact any decisions made to try to issue a charge or to ultimately end up before a jury. I'm very confident in saying that if it goes that way, the lawyers are going to be handling this matter are not going to be outmatched. And so it's with great pleasure that I am able to introduce Attorney Scott Hanson. I'm going to ask him to stand and remove his mask briefly so that people can see him. Thank you, Scott. Scott is a longtime partner of the Reinhardt, Warner, Van Buren law firm in Milwaukee. He is of counsel at this time, and he asked me to tell everyone that he'll be acting independently of any affiliation that he has with that law firm for the purpose of this case. Scott Hanson is a career litigator for that firm. He's a person that has enjoyed innumerable successes in litigation, in trials, and they're all set forth on his page at the Reinhardt Law Firm. I could go through that page in a couple hours if we actually went through it. So his skills are beyond question. He has been deemed a Tier 1 litigator through the Chamber's people since 2004. He's been acknowledged as a top 50 lawyer in Wisconsin by the Super Lawyers Group from 2009 to 2015. He is the 2018 Lawyer of the Year, Milwaukee Bar Association. But what I like about Mr. Hanson more than that is his reputation for honesty, integrity, and I am satisfied that I would be very challenged to find somebody with less biases than him. Additionally, when I began this search, I have to say that, and I don't want any misunderstandings here because this process has gone on longer than I wanted it to. It's been about 4 months. It's felt like about 4 years. And I'm not going to get into all the details of what made it feel that long today. I don't think that's necessary. And frankly, I don't want the focus of this case on me. The focus of this case is on the review of the fatal shooting of Jay Anderson Jr., and that's where I want it to stay. But certainly, Scott, as well as the other 2 individuals that I reached out here, I only reached out to 3 individuals here to serve as what I believe would be a lead prosecutor in this case. And I have to confess that I have not known Scott a long time, as I have the other 2 that I've spoken to. I am grateful that my former colleague, former Judge Jeff Conan, reached out to me and suggested that I speak to Scott. And everything he said about him was completely accurate. And just to be clear, this is not the kind of case where I was looking for somebody 25, 30 years old, out there trying to survive, trying to make a name for themselves, because that's not what this is about. Scott Hanson, I'm not going to embarrass him by, maybe he shouldn't be embarrassed, let's put it that way, but I'm not going to even make reference to what his typical hourly rate is. But I would tell you he's going to work 15, 20 hours at the rate I'm going to be able to pay him to meet 1 hour of what he bills out. And he's never lacked for clients. So what I was looking for and what I have found is somebody who's made their name, who has had a very successful career, who has established an extremely solid reputation in the community as well as the legal community. And that's what we've found here with Scott. So I'm very, very pleased that he has accepted. He is in a position in life, frankly, where he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't need the money in this case. And I know in speaking to him that it's important to him that he has certainly scaled back compared to what he's done throughout his life. And at this point of his career, I know it's important to him to only get involved with things that he believes are important, things where he believes he might make a difference, and I think where he believes that there are larger values to his work as a representative, as an advocate, beyond cash payments, um, uh, favorable results for business clients, and things of that nature. I am also appointing uh, District Attorney Tim Greenke, who is the La Crosse District Attorney. I am very pleased that he has accepted appointment here. And preliminarily, I will indicate that he and Scott have spoken because it was important to me to have someone that Scott was comfortable working with. And frankly, I think we've hit the jackpot in that regard. They've had extensive discussions prior to today. And I think they have each confirmed that they don't believe there'll be any issues working together. These are not a couple of guys with big egos. They are people that are focused on the facts, on the law, and on understanding the total situation. And I'm confident that's what they're going to do in this case. Tim Greenke is not with us today because he's working his day job as the District Attorney of La Crosse County. I know just about all the judges in La Crosse County by virtue of being on the bench for 18 years here. I know other people that work in that system. I have vetted Mr. Greenke to my satisfaction, and I have not heard anybody say a negative word about him. He is certainly someone with a personality to collaborate. And again, I'll just recite a couple of his achievements just so you get a flavor of what he's done. I believe he's been a prosecutor for 26 years now. He has been named the two-time Prosecutor of the Year by the Wisconsin Prosecutors Group. He has been named the two-time Prosecutor of the Year by the Wisconsin Association of Homicide Investigators. He has also been awarded the Voices of Courage Award by the Wisconsin Coalition of Sexual Assault. And he has done a lot of work and a lot of training of other professionals in the area of sexual assault. Again, I'm very, very pleased that Tim Greenke has accepted appointment here. He's not looking for things to do. He's very busy where he's at and what he's doing, but he indicated that if there was a need, he would make himself available. And so again, this is a person with no agenda. Really would have been just as happy, I think, if I would have left him alone. But he has agreed to serve here. And there are benefits to having him serve, not only based on his own experience, and I shouldn't have, but perhaps I didn't neglect it a little bit. He has an extremely, he is extremely well regarded in La Crosse County. He mentored as a young lawyer under Judge Scott Horn in La Crosse, another person that I know that I have a very high opinion of. And so I'm satisfied that he received the kind of mentorship that we wish all lawyers would get. And he has been a very devoted public servant for the people of La Crosse. With regards to the process, I've already said a little bit about the fact that I've really spoken to very few people here. But because it's taken 4 months to get here, I want to make sure that people don't leave with the wrong impression that I've been out there going from lawyer to lawyer to lawyer to lawyer, and nobody wants it. That has not been the case. As a matter of fact, the first two people that I reached out, and again, I didn't know Scott that well at that time, but were also very, very similar to Scott. They were extremely successful litigators. If their names were disclosed, they would be very well known. And each of them took a very long time, longer than I wish, to review, to think about it. And ironically, they both independently asked me for more time to think about it. And they declined for various reasons, but and one of them said, you know what, if you have any trouble finding somebody, call me back. And again, people that are very, very accomplished, people that are, I would think it's safe to say, in a similar stage of maturity as Scott in terms of their ages, and people that, again, are very successful, don't need the money, but I think based on their review of the decision here, they felt it was worth a lot of consideration. So that's how we got here. That's how we got to Scott. And there have been ongoing discussions with the Department of Administration about having them authorize Scott's appointment. And I'm not going to go too far into it. I don't want to be throwing a lot of dirt here, but I will indicate a couple of things. Early on in that process, they did offer me to appoint two people. They both happen to be retired prosecutors. I declined that after doing my own due diligence, but they set the precedent for the appointment of two people here. And it's not as though they are offering a princely sum. The rate of pay, as so many rates of pays for attorneys in this state, I'm not sure if it's changed in the last 2-3 decades. It is $40 an hour, $50 in court. So no disparagement to plumbers, but I've never had one come to my house for $40 an hour. And so that's where we stand in that regard. They did send me, in addition to that, they did send me a memorandum on November 17th of this year. And the final paragraph of it reads, well, the first paragraph of it reads that they have decided that they will appoint Mr. Greenke. And there are statutes that apply to that that I'm not going to get into at this time, but their final paragraph indicates that if DA Greenke or the court ultimately believes additional appointments are needed in order to support DA Greenke, this memorandum is not intended to foreclose that possibility. And upon that basis, I am ordering the Department of Administration to pay for Scott Hanson's appointment at the state rate. And they've also previously agreed to appoint or authorize the appointment of Mr. Greenke. And so in addition to the advantage that I believe these two individuals have to offer, there are also practical considerations. And one of the primary ones being providing adequate resources to Mr. Hanson, Mr. Greenke, to properly do the case. And in that regard, it has become abundantly clear to me that the best avenue for accessing resources is to have a current prosecutor serve as a co-counsel in this case. And so that is going to be the order of the court. I really couldn't be happier with the way this has ultimately turned out. And I have full confidence in both Mr. Hanson and Mr. Greenke. So there will be ultimately an order drafted as part of the record to memorialize what I have said today and authorize both their appointment and their payment. I have discussed with both of them how they would like to proceed at this time. And I think there's been agreement that this matter will be adjourned for 60 days so that they have an opportunity to review the file, uh, speak together. And let me just add one other thing with regard to the appointment of Mr. Hanson and why I believe it's important and why I believe the Department of Administration ought to get this over with and just authorize it. And that is Tim Greenke's in La Crosse. And I think it's very important, and I can't ask him to come down here all the time. He's got a full-time job up there. So to the extent necessary, any appearances on his part will be accommodated by Zoom. But I do think it's very important in a case like this to have a local presence. And so that's another reason, on top of all those that I've already listed, why I believe it's essential to have Scott Hanson appointed in this matter, and that will be the order of the court. So there will be a date selected. I can't say for sure at this time if it'll be in person or over Zoom, because I don't anticipate it to be a substantive hearing at that early stage. So it may be by Zoom, but CCAP will be updated. I don't want anybody to have to come down for no reason, and we'll go from there. So that's the conclusion of the remarks that I have to offer this morning, and my clerk will work out a date for the next hearing. Thank you.
February 15 at 1:30.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you. If you and Mr. Hanson want to step to the back for a moment. I'd like to speak to you.
I'll take over.
Gonna turn off the.
I'm here, sorry.